Welcome to VLearn Network. This is session 4 of Data Storage Management on Information Lifecycle Management. In this session, we are going to cover topic what is Information Lifecycle Management, unstructured and structured information, the importance of context, different type of context, characteristics of information, an ILM schema, the changing value of information, and regulatory concerns. Let's discussing going about the information lifecycle management. And we in the previous session discussed about the data security concept, and it is also an applicability to the area of storage in the previous session. Now in this session we are going to discuss about information assurance, that is which is the process by which organization ensures protect and verify the integrity of the vital information. Without information assurance, it is impossible to know that critical information is what it is assumed to be or where it is supposed to be. So traditional data protection strategies such as the backup and restore the application that deal with the data, not information. That is now we are going to about the meaning of what is information lifecycle management. Information lifecycle, when in the short we will use the word ILM. This is a strategic process for dealing with information asset, and that is typically ILM. Is express a strategy which is then used to generate policies, and finally a set of rules is created and used by the organization for software to comply with the policies. And the ILM is processed that into the account with the information which is where it is located and what relationship it has to other information, and the life cycle of the information. Now written here in front of you the slide about the ILM. This is the first and the foremost a strategic process for dealing with information assets. Typically ILM is expressed as strategy which is then used to generate policies. That's we have already discussed about it. Finally set of rules generated here. Policies ILM take count information and look at it in the relationship. Data is here initially ILM appear a lot of data lifecycle management. Data lifecycle management that we use here DLM in short. And DLM, that is also a policy that based on the process, and it has to take into the account and life cycle. So difference is that ILM operate on information, not data. This is a fundamental distinction that make ILM very different process. Next about understand unstructured information. That operating system and file system know only about blocks and files. I hope you have already studied about the file system and operating system. But they are using just about the block and the file. They cannot tell what is those file. It may be summarized that a file is a word processor document by its extension or the MIME type, but cannot be certain. Extensions and the MIME type can be changed even within application. Information can be recognized only in a gross fashion as a document or spreadsheet. Here are more about let's see what says that application that do not know whether a file is an important document, a financial report, or the letter to a friend. Files and the similar construct are considered unstructured. Operating system, file system, and application have no external means of understanding the meaning of the data. This is the basic concept about the structured and unstructured information. The most difficult type of unstructured data is deal with its images and photograph, X-rays, scan, document, and other images that do not have any internal clues about how to determine what is the information is. and all validation of this object is external and provided by the outside source. This makes management of images through traditional means such as the keyword searching almost meaningless. Now about the next, the importance of context. About the importance of context, we are getting information about why. That is why itself is not a very useful, but it's a single number or a page, it tells you very little. And other number and the symbols to form an equation, and how there is some meaning if you know how to read the formula, combine the formula with text and explain formula, and there is useful information. The text and the symbol provide meaning to the number. As you know very clear, if you write the text with symbol, it will be very clear about the meaning of number. Some data is about we are discussing information of context. Some information differ from data that has context. Context is some different other data and that impart the meaning of structure of the table, but for data it's useful to be information that we need to context around it. Here the different type of context. There are several form of context that can be applied in data, that can be explicit context, and that is context that is stated directly. It exists when data has predetermined and externally readable structure. Database have explicit context. And the schemas are inherent part of overall data set, and any application that can read the database table can also understand the meaning of the data. That is here very clear about the getting schema and all these data sets we are using in the context. To understand this meaning of the data, we use using different more about implicit context. In the implicit, that is the implied by attitude of the data. A file with the .doc extension apply the document. If the file is in directory or folder by title marketing plans, and it is implied that file is a part of organization marketing plan. What is I hope it's really clear about implicit that tell about some specific formatting, letter format, title and formula that provide evidence of the meaning of content. And the finally they are the rule-based context. Rules are a way of making implicit context explicit. This rule-based context imposed context on data based on a set of external rules. Here the following rule illustrate how it is possible to express rule-based context. In the final has extension that we have discussed about is extension that we can use in the file, and some context is additional data that provide meaning of the data, and the relationship information often include relationship with the other information. Sometimes it's only a casual reference, at other times it is a strong formal link such as a hyperlink. And application independence data relies on application for interpretation. Information stand by itself. Different applications using some data can interpret in different ways. And determine value. That value of information can be determined because it has some meaning. That an ILM schema. About ILM schema, that is more involved in the that we discuss about DLM, different meta, data action and different type of classes. It has developed a set of schema to use it in policy making. Schemas and data dictionary are popular in whatever application for managing its semantic and operation of information. There are some examples like multitude of XML schemas, the design protocol communication and data stores. Many designed for specific industries are here. For changing the value, about changing the value of information, information become more valuable or less valuable over the time. Events can alter the value of information as well. You know very well that even if you want to change something, you can do it very easily. And generally as information gets older, it becomes less applicable to the current situation and less valuable unless updated. The passage of time is a changed time, that changed state, because time is a factor in state. Data protection and storage resources need to change as the value of information change over time. Let's see the diagram. This diagram that represent here that create information desktop computer, that state of changes, the value increased. Here the value is getting from the decline here, that value change value to be decline, and this change value to be decline, and further here at this level is increased. That is same high availability of any device, that state array, and that is CD-ROM devices, and that finally or the destroyer. This is the considered y-axis the value and the y-axis is the time. The value that is increased, if the values get increased, you will get that move CD-ROM actors to be destroyed here. And the next one about here is regulatory concern. I would like to start changing the value of information. That take in the case of customer service email, when email that contain an order of the first received, it is very valuable. It represents potential revenue that must be protected. Loss of email means a loss of revenue, and second email that which contain not of thank that may have some value from quality assurance and a marketing perspective. It is not however nearly available and disorder in email as the time goes on and order is to be processed. So it will be impossible to complete the order in a timely fashion, and when the order is fulfilled, however, the value of email begin to drop. That it may be needed to answer the question and the customer provide historical report, but the revenue is already realized. And the next is here regulatory concern. In the regulatory concern, a common reason that many organizations implement ILM is to address regulatory with the concern. Throughout the world, new regulations that attempt to safeguard privacy to control behavior, public organizations are effective how information is retained and destroyed. That's privacy and corporation regulation that affect the information management and access the worldwide. And in the front of you, here is United States, Sarbanes-Oxley, and the health insurance portability, that equitability and have caused corporation and other organizations to examine how information is handled and who access to it. Next is about the Sarbanes-Oxley, that in the 2002 US Congress passed US public law, that is the from number 107/204, is called the Sarbanes-Oxley that act in 2002, known as the colloquially and the Sarbanes-Oxley, and as is short is SOX. The law's passage from during a period of profound and distrust of corporate executive and auditor and directors, that is to be foiled and criminally by the corporate standards, claiming and in the gallops and $2 million company and in the world of the here. The last here about the health insurance publicity. Here the health insurance publicity and the HPA, that is from the US public law, that was designed to ensure that health information, that it's very necessary about the health, the need to be while in safeguarding it against the unauthorized access. The authorization is very necessary. We are discussing about the security. So when the law was passed from 1996, it was felt in dual need protection against the fraud. So and misuse medical information and regulated access to medical information that would enhance the delivery of service. This is an exercise that you can do it by yourself, is to define ILM. Discuss the difference between structured and unstructured information. How does the information differ from data? Discuss characteristics of information. This is all about in the session. We are winding up here. Thank you so much. Happy learning. We learn.